networking doesn't work. Let's talk about it. I used to believe this. If you go back for 4 years ago, I used to believe that networking doesn't work. But that is because I was coming with the notion, I had a belief, or I was functioning on something that I'd never experienced. A lot of us make judgment and decisions, life-changing decisions, based on nothing. Based on zero experience, zero experiment, zero exposure. We just make life-changing decisions based on nothing, really. I never experienced networking, really, and I just didn't believe it worked for me, right? And you might be thinking that, right? And a lot of the times we make these decisions based on that, and that's not okay. The second place where these decisions come from is based on hearsay, what you've heard other people say, what the society is saying, what the culture is saying, what the environment is saying for that time or for a long time. For example, there might be a global thing, there might be a societal thing, there might be a culture thing, like, for me to be Africans don't do that, might be women don't do that, might be black women don't do that for me, might be even family constraints, like who in your family has ever done this, right? We come with a lot of constraints, things that could limit us because we're just believing beliefs that need to be challenged. And that was my understanding of networking for a long time. I'll share you a brief story. When we went during COVID with my boys, we were in South Africa. That was more or less of our base. We traveled a lot of South Africa, western part of Africa. We did Togo, Cameroon, that side of the countries, but our base was more or less South Africa. And my boys come with this impression that Africa is dangerous, that South Africa is not a safe place. It's dangerous, it's not safe, it's not healthy, it's unclean. A lot of negative connotation that they have, and I quite understandably they've been born and raised in the Western world, so they had not been in Africa, they don't experience it. Maybe that's your understanding of networking. You've never really experienced it, it's just what people say, what you've heard. So they experienced Africa, they experienced South Africa, everything was beautiful, they loved everything about it. Then coming back a couple of months, maybe a couple of years later, they were in a conversation with their friends who were saying Africa's unhealthy, Africa's dangerous, you're so unsafe there. And I took my sons back after, they had the conversation with their people and said, I asked them, is that your true understanding of, Africa and South Africa? Is that what you experienced? Give me a time when we were in South Africa and we were in danger. When did we feel insecure or that there was a threat, there was an imminent threat that we had to hide and take refuge and be careful? When was that, right? And I actually pointed out to my son that there was a time where he got an Uber from the place we were staying and my brother-in-law's to a tennis tournament. He took an Uber. The drive was about 35 minutes away. And he did what he did, the tennis tournament, he was meeting a friend, and then he came back. And I said, during that whole scenario of you booking your Uber, getting to your Uber, the drive to the venue, you hanging around with your tennis people, your tennis friends, you went to see one of the guys who plays professional with the training that he does here back in Australia. He had traveled to South Africa to play a tournament, so he went to watch him. And I said, during all that time, then you drive back home, you booked your Uber again, then you came back home. When with that scenario did you ever feel scared, or were you afraid, or was that experience pretty much the same as when you book an Uber, when you travel in Australia, when you go, see your friends, when you go out with your friends, or we go out and do things, or go to tennis tournaments back in Australia? Was that not the similar experience, or was it a threat and you were scared and it was a horrible experience, negative experience? He goes, no, it was fine. I've never felt insecure. And I did say we went to the malls, we loved the malls, the restaurants, everything was super quality. The malls were beautiful. We shopped. We did not lack anything when we were in South Africa. And I know there are things that happen. There's some danger spots. There are some stories like any other country. Which country is zero risk, zero crime, zero negative stuff? That's not true, right? So similar, Africa and South Africa, who have its past, who have its moments, who have its incidences, right? But my point was to him is, when did we personally feel in danger? And he said, no, he didn't. I said, so you can't go around now siding up with this because that's not true for you. That's not your story anymore. My point, going back to networking, don't run with the narrative that you've heard. From now on, I want you to create your own experiences. Expose yourself to these things, try them out, and then draw your own conclusions. But I'm going to give you a few networking tips, especially if you're a woman who wants to grow their business and wants to make an impact. You want to make money, you want to make an impact. You don't want to be in your day job anymore. and you really want to grow your business, I'll give you a few tips. What worked for me when I started doing networking. Set the intention. Don't just go randomly and just say I'm going to go networking, because if you have no intention, you've not set any goals, then yes, nothing's going to work, because it's not going to work based on what. You need to have a rater scale, right? You need to be able to measure the metrics of it. What did not work about the networking, okay? So set an agenda, right? I'll give you an example. For me, when I go networking, or when I joined a networking group, I had a specific goal. I usually have two things: for my personal development or for my business. What am I going to get personally, or what is my business going to get from this scenario? Okay. Personally, I believe the business cannot grow beyond you. What I know, what I can do, what I believe is going to limit the level that my business grows. My habits, my activities, my mindset are going to be the bottleneck of my business. The more I know, the more I can do, the more I can put myself out there, is determined by me. The business, I always say, has got no body, it's got no ears, got no legs, got no mind. The business itself does not have any of these things. The body needs me to take it to places. It needs me to speak. It needs me to hear, what the environment needs, so I can create the right services to fix the solutions, right? So I'm the end body of the business. So what I personally can do would personally impact the business. So I do two things. I need to develop personally my skills, my knowledge, my mindset. So that's why I go to networking. I specifically joined Women Making It Work 2 years ago. This is my story. 2 years ago, because the deficit I had personally, I needed to improve my people skills in business. Introverts, right, probably have the most challenge, because we have to really work hard at being extroverted. I learned that I cannot function as a business introverted. I need to have extrovert skills. I need to be able to speak my business. I need to be able to be seen. I need to be able to have a voice. I need to be able to have people skills, being able to connect, being able to share, being able to be in spaces, to be relational. That's what business is about. People buy you before they buy into your business. This is what I learned that I needed to upskill. So I joined Women Making It Work, particularly to improve my people skills. Interestingly enough, most people around me in that community, I would say definitely more extroverted than me. So those are the skills I needed to pull in. I'm a visual learner, so I like to see practically how to develop these things. So people around me within that community work extrovertedly. They are beautiful connectors. They create beautiful relations. They connect quicker than I do. So these are the skills I needed to learn in order for my business to grow. So I intentionally put myself in this space to do that. And I looked for a networking space that I could see myself fitting in to improve these particular skills. So when I can say maybe, at 6 months down the line, it didn't work, it's because I didn't achieve these goals. So you need to have specific goals as to why you're networking, why are you joining this group, and will it meet 1, 2, 3, 4 of the goals or the things you want to develop personally. Business wise, I'll give you a business example. When I go to networking, I need to know who's in the room, who are the attendees, who are the delegates, for example, who are the speakers, for example. Are they going to amplify my business? Because obviously I need to sell, I need to market, I need visibility. So I need to know who's attending the event. I need to know who's in the room. I need to know the history of the event. Is it a conference? Is it a summit? Is it a trade show? How is this going to benefit the business? Especially if you have a goal. For me, last year I had a visibility goal for my business. I need people to get to know my business. We believe you think people will know enough about you, but we're doing this scratch the surface. You need so much between social media, being in rooms, logo, brand awareness. There's so much that goes behind creating visibility for your business. I need to be on stages to speak, my message, my concepts, my frameworks. I need to have conversations with the decision makers, right? Because those are my clients, those are my avatars, those are the people that buy my services. So I need to be in those spaces. So when I go business networking, I need to make sure these are the people, right? I cannot go into to business event and there are no CEOs, there are no COOs, there are no safety people, regulators, they're the decision makers that I need to be presenting myself to. If I go to an event that doesn't have that, I'm going to be frustrated, right? I won't be able to meet my business goals. My business goals, I need to increase visibility. I need people to know me. I need people to get my message. Then I need to have relationships. I need to make sales. So what activities am I specifically doing in order for the business to grow? And these activities have to be working in certain rooms, and that's what my business networking is about. So really, you need to be setting the intention. Why am I needing to go there? Why am I joining? What is the goal for my business right now? What does my business need right now? Does it need to know more people? Does it need visibility? Do I need more leads? So that's really, a lot of times we're not meeting the needs of the business. We've not identified the needs of the business. What season are you within your business right now? What does it need? Then find the spaces, and networking simply spaces, rooms where the business needs will be met. And then the last tip I'm going to share is, this is something I used to do a couple of years back. I go to the event and leave. I don't speak to anybody. I don't interact with anybody. That's my introvertedness coming back into it. But are you the type of person that, you get to the event, you sit and you listen, and then the moment it's finished, thank you, you're the first one out, right? That used to be me. What's the point of that? Take opportunity of you being in the room, right? Connect with people. Identify. I literally identify when I'm going to a business meeting. Identify who are the people I want to potentially speak to, which companies will be in this room that will really change the game for my business. Which company, which CEO, which decision maker, which workshop, which event, which session, which presentation do I need to be, right? I need to speak to that speaker when they come off the stage, literally. That's how strategic you have to be, okay? So make that an intention. Who is in that room that I need to connect with? Even personally, right? When you're going to the networking, it's you within most networking groups, for example, the one I go to, we introduce each other. We have a session time that we do introduce. Hello, I'm Mabel. This is my business. This is what I do, right? So you're sitting there listening, go, I need to speak to that person. Right? Whether it's a personal development level or whether it's a business level, you need to identify who in the room do I need to be speaking to in order for personal development for me or for my business, right? Then make sure, the last tip I'm going to give you, what's the immediate action you're going to take from you being in this room. A lot of the times we collect business cards, we connect with people on Instagram, and we go home and days pass, weeks go, months go, before you know it, everything's forgotten, right? What's the immediate thing that you can do even when you're still in the room? For example, it's maybe connect literally on social media with that person, right? That's something you could do. Book a coffee session with the person the next time you're going to meet. Literally book it. It's easier then than to later try to connect on social media and say, oh yeah, we met in the room. Have the conversation. Are you open for coffee? Where do we live? What's the meetup point? We could, the halfway point for us to meet up, things like that. Take immediate action, because momentum, right? It's the hottest time right now, right? Rather than living in a couple hours, couple of days, that's a waste of time. You've lost the whole reason why you're in the room. So make sure you take immediate action. What can I do right now in this room? I need to speak to that person. I need to book a coffee connect. I need to book a Zoom meeting with that person. Whatever that looks like for you, do that. Do I need to send an email? Do I need to text? Like, thank you for connecting. It was nice meeting you. So they have an impression of that's the person I spoke to. Especially if it's a large room, people are going to speak to a lot of people. So what's the way that you can be remembered? What the one thing that you want that person to remember you for? Because they're going to meet 10, 15 people that day. Be impressionable. What do they need to remember about you? Maybe the text. Maybe you're going to be the only one that sends an immediate text. Maybe you're the only one they're going to send an email, right? Maybe you're the one who's going to literally book a coffee meeting, a virtual meeting, whatever it is, straight away. So what's the immediate thing that you can do straight away? Don't leave it till you get home, hours later, tomorrow, next week. Do it immediately. I hope that's helped, because I just didn't want to debunk the whole concept of networking and how it can be challenging for people. It was something really challenging for me, but I'm okay now. It's not such a minefield. Obviously, you need to work at it. It's a skill, like anything that you need to develop, but be really intentional about it. Don't just go to random networks. It's what am I going for? What do I want to achieve? Who's going to be there? And what are the business goals? What are the personal goals? That's what's really worked for me. I'd like to hear from you. Let me know what's working for you when you go to networking. Obviously, I want to learn. I'm keen to learn what else I can do. I'm an open learner. Let's connect. Let me know what's worked for you, and what are your apprehensions? What are you still fearful about? And maybe I can do another episode on how networking has helped me, or how to identify a better networking group for yourself. Because I've joined several and I've stopped because I wasn't developing anything. So sometimes it's trying a whole lot of different ones and seeing which one fits for yourself. But let me know what are your apprehensions, and maybe I can do another series that can debunk your challenges. But I hope this one has helped, and networking will help if you are active and you've intentionally set the goals for yourself and what you're wanting to achieve from these events. They're not the solution, and they're not the only way for you to grow personally and to grow your business, but it's one of the ways. And one thing I forgot to mention, be okay to pay. Be okay to pay to be in these rooms. A lot of women are very, right, I don't need to be paying for it. Sometimes you need to do the free events, they are good. But but sometimes you need to pay for membership, right? There are benefits that come. Oh, could I leave this out? The benefits that come with joint membership. You will find the little benefits, perks, like you can, for example, the one I have is you can, have your profile on their website. You can advertise on certain days. Visibility, right? The bigger they are. I'm part of, within my business work, I'm part of a union that's globally recognized. So I can put their logo on my website. I can put their logo on my LinkedIn profile. That instantly increases credibility, right? Because people want to be associated with certain brands, right? So that fast tracks what you're trying to do, right? So don't be so apprehensive. I'm not paying. That one, the one I paid for my business, I paid, how much did it cost me? 25,000 to be part of that. But the credibility it brings when you talk to people and you say, I'm part of this safety type of thing, it's like, wow. Or organization and companies recognize it, right? So that's what I'm talking about. It depends what your goals are, and obviously it depends where your business is at and your budget, right? But I want to tell you that the more you invest in these things, it's nice to do free things, but you're going to have to get over being frugal and looking for free things, especially if you want to grow your brand and your business beyond a certain amount of money. Then free is not going to meet it. Okay, you're gonna have to be able to pay to attend events, whether it's $25, $30, $1,000, $5,000, $10,000. I have paid the whole range. I've paid to be on stages. I've paid to attend an event. I've paid to be in the room. That's just the cost of playing. And I think the bigger game you play, the bigger your investment that's required from you. And that's one of the mindsets that you need to work on. For me, that was a big one. You need to pay to play sometimes, and that's what comes with the game that you're playing. So hopefully that has helped. Let me know. I'll be really keen to hear what are your takes from what I've shared today, what's working for you, and if the particular challenges that you're having within networking and how you can grow your business, what rooms or strategies are you using and what other things you can use. Share it, then we can obviously create more stuff around that. But keep growing, keep learning, and stay open. Take care. Bye-bye.